There was once a woman named Naomi. She had moved far from her homeland during a famine, hoping for a better life. But in the land of Moab, life broke her heart. Her husband died. Then both of her sons died too, leaving Naomi and her two daughters-in-law, Ruth and Orpah, as widows. It felt like the end. Naomi decided to return home to Bethlehem, to the place she once knew. She told Ruth and Orpah to stay behind in Moab where they could remarry, start over, and have some kind of future. Orpah tearfully said goodbye and turned back, but Ruth didn't move. She looked Naomi in the eyes and spoke words that have echoed through centuries. Where you go, I'll go. Where you stay, I'll stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God. It was more than loyalty. It was love in its hardest, truest form, and so Ruth walked with Naomi into an unknown future. Two widows with no money, no safety net, and no guarantees. When they reached Bethlehem, Ruth immediately went out to gather leftover grain from the field's back-breaking work under the hot sun. But she was determined to provide, to keep Naomi from going hungry. And that's when the story took a surprising turn. The field Ruth found herself in belonged to Boaz, a kind and respected man who noticed her dedication. He heard how she had cared for Naomi, how she had left everything behind to stand by her. Boaz made sure Ruth was protected, welcomed, and given more than enough food. As the days passed, their paths kept crossing. Boaz saw Ruth's heart. Ruth experienced Boaz's kindness. And slowly, something beautiful began to unfold. Eventually, Boaz chose to redeem Ruth, not just as a protector, but as her husband. Their marriage wasn't only about them. It restored Naomi's hope, too. This story that began in grief ended in joy. Ruth's faithful love opened the door to redemption, not just for Naomi, but for generations to come. Because Ruth and Boaz became the great-grandparents of King David. And in their family line, generations later, came Jesus, the Redeemer of the world. The story of Ruth reminds us that love doesn't always show up in grand gestures. Sometimes it's the choice to stay, to care, to walk with someone through the hard places. That kind of faithful love can change everything. And just like Ruth's story, our acts of love, steady, loyal, even when it's hard, can open the door for God to bring redemption in ways we could never imagine. Episode 3, Ruth, loyal love in the hard places. Faithful love opens the door to redemption.